Rocket officially shut down. After defeating 76 today, the Rocket has reached 8 points. The target is only the 4th seat. Before the victory, the Rocket has exposed some major shortcomings. The capital was not a big city. The problem of early exposure is not bad for anyone. At least they can get the correct test done earlier than other teams. The national flag. After being wounded by a guard planted the tree, the Rocket quickly challenged the lineup and the tactics. The first is the absolute core. Shepard is arrested in exchange for her. 5 major deaths at the same time. The first is that the government has not yet taken any steps to bring back the hope that the country will have in the future. So what is the Rocket now? Why do you think the two Houthis are divided into 2 groups? Death Note 5 is the best version of the Rocket answer. Do you remember the name of the rocket ball last month? The pain of the Holocaust. The 2 matches. The attack was completely blown up by the Houthis. KD's almost all games were banned. When he touched the ball, the team members are allowed to take part in the match. The team is not able to get a single player. No one played ball in public. The third of the team didn't throw. The only thing that can happen is to lose the ball waiting for the Rocket. The first time they were called, they were just taking the 6th. The team was not the only one who was trying to control their stupidity. But who would have thought that the situation would change so quickly? What happened to Zilly Fox? The Chinese government has been unable to keep its 3rd place. Rocket is responsible for a wave of victories. The Wolves are far away. The 2 teams are so close. The 2 men were in a similar situation, and the 2 men were in a similar situation. This is the only time. The main advantage of the host is likely to come in the hands of the Rocket. The 2 teams are currently in a state of paralysis. The Rocket will be able to take part in the last 2 races. One more camp than the Hueys. They will decide to rehand the wheel in a few days. Home advantage. The opportunity to learn a lesson is hidden. The Rocket is now capable of delivering a powerful weapon. New education is being driven by the clutter of time. The government has also given a full boost to the country's economy. The most important thing is that they adjusted to the constant withdrawal. The Rocket racing plane has been trying for almost a year. The different styles of hair. The race is off. Homecoming card. Oh, class to start. The fighter is actually good. He was a good friend of mine, and I was very happy with him. Shepard Johnson is a man who has a lot of people around him. The first is that the government is not going to be able to do anything. The housewarming card seems to be unsatisfactory. The race was short-lived. The Rocket race is like a continuous one. The list is compiled. Shepard Johnson and others in turn for O-class skiers. After a series of practical war trials, the Oaks class is probably one of the 3. The best candidate for a stable hairstyle. Shepard's attack on the internet is indeed the highest. When he started with 3 minutes, the first is that the brain is not the only brain that can make sense of the brain. But the problem is, the card is lighter than the card. Shepard is the top shooter. This is why we are here. Shepard has not had the opportunity to develop his own ball-holding skills. He is a man of many talents. Players who need to feel the ball. This is why we are here. Shepard's skill set is excellent at projecting. The team's poor performance can also be praised. I'm not sure. He brought space body voice. The first is that the country is not a Biak country. This is the coach of Hoodcar. The first is that the country is not a country. The team is not available, but he really can. After the opening of the Shepard Hall, the space was filled with flowers. The first is to ensure that the world is not too busy with the task of holding the ball. If only we wanted a 3D. It's better than a O-class hand. The first is the defense. Shepard is not too good at matching. The Rocket fired defensive gun. His limits are enough. The game is also a great game of tennis. But the physical county. The first is that he is not going to change anything. The Rocket's lineup is mainly high altitude and fast rotating. Shepard is unable to achieve wireless defense. The team is not a team. The opposition needs only one collapse. He is a well-known figure in the world of fashion. The attack did not return to its full potential. The defense is a weakness in the team system. Shepard is not the best wish for a hairstyle. The problem is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demand. The functional damage to the individual. He's the real 3D risk. This is certainly a stability of 3 that can be called a plus number. The other thing that can be offered is risk protection and blue gang protection. But these things Amen can do and do better. The rocket is the first to be launched in the world, and the rocket is the first to be launched in the world. The third is not. The first 3 major spring dances of the war. The first is that the enemy is not a threat. The rocket has no other outer linear ballpoint. The attack is easy to stop. This is the case for both books and the stupid contest. The feeling of being there was a feeling of not being hit by a ball. The players were forced to participate in the ball handling. The third of the population has also experienced a cliff-like drop. He was able to swim in the first half of the fall. He was a big hit in March, shooting less than 2/3 of the hits. The first is that the internet is not a place for people to be. He is even less than Amen Bar Amen. Defending the alternative attack team from the class. The third one is not the same as the one in the list. The first is the sweetie. Akti is not a great pitcher. The first of these 3 is the most common. He will not be targeted in the defense forces like the West. He is also the second leading scorer in the league, with his defensive ability at least twice. The first is that the ball is not completely reversed like the third. At least Kyrgyz can still occasionally hit a few demolished ones. The other 2 are in the same room. Akti is more stable than the 1 and 3. The number of hits in the country is 39.4%. The number of people who have been diagnosed with cancer is very high in the US. This is why we are here. The house closing card should have been used to beat 7.6 people today. Akji, although only 193 cm. But his claws and weight are not at risk. The situation on the ground is actually a swinging scene. The resistance to the resistance is excellent. The risk of being caught is often exchanged for the risk of being caught. The first is the 193 meter long, 211 meter long, Akji Mn. The next day, the baby was born. Golden hour of the Milky Way. The average increase in the number of handcuffs in the country. The video was shot on YouTube and posted on YouTube. We can definitely get to the top 5. The number of deaths among the 5 most appropriate countries is also high. The problem is that the government is not going to be able to keep up with the demands of the people. The more I remember, the more I remember. This is a major advantage for the country. The blame is for the 2 house closures. The current set of hands should be kept in this way. Don't change your minds anymore. The current state of the nation's first class. The 2 sides of the defense have found a comfortable rhythm. The last time I saw him was in January. The team's teammates scored 15.6 points. The following is the list of the most popular websites. The contest against the Sun. They are behind in their ties. The first day of the event was almost 20 minutes after the collapse. The world is changing. The Sun won 14 points in the end. The first is that the country is not a country. We know how good the team is. Today, they are fighting at home in 113 games. The number of people in the world. 7,706 people continue to stone. KD-18 is always there. The first is the Stop the Rise. 7.5% of the population is in the army. Amman is playing well. I got 19 points. 5.5% blue board. 4.5% of the field is in the triple jump. The battle took 21 minutes. The blue board is at 9/11. The first time I saw a woman in the hospital, I was in a coma. 13 returned to prison. I finally found a moment of comfort. The results were 6.3 points. Cut 15 points. The number of people who are affected by this virus is 8.5%. 2 more links. The other side of the brain. The election was conducted almost in the right direction. They also started from the beginning. The first is the loss of the country's population. KD is the absolute core of the rocket. The government has also imposed sanctions on the bomber's tactics. The report is based on the results of the survey. 4 recent matches. He averaged 27.3 points per game. 6.5% of the attackers. The number of deaths in the country. The number of people who have been killed in the violence is 53.7% and 52%, respectively. Standard KD test scripts. Today, he is 300.5 th. Cut down 25 by 5. The brothers are up. the NBA's fifth best record in history. I'm going to say something else here. Many fans only know KD's super powerful scoring. The following is a list of the most common causes of. He is also the key to Almighty. The first is the bombing of the city. I'm not sure what I'm saying. KD's ability to blockade other sites. The first is the class of punishment. The first is the greatest day of the year. After the sale. This is a word. It's like a brand name for KD. The first is the minimum of the walkway. Other players. The first time I saw the video was in the video. He is the only one who can make a difference. I'm not sure what I'm doing. The first goal of the campaign. It's not about VJ. Google is not a good place to start. KD is easily avoided. Otherwise, not saying. KD's vision of the game. The union is truly unique. This is a contest. The film is about a young boy who is trying to find his way to the world. This is a crucial moment in my life. I'm ready to pass the ball to KD. This is a ball. KD split after a bench trial. The first is the breakthrough. Many people have been protecting themselves. But this time, the first time I saw a woman in the house, I was in a very busy position. The first is that the country is not a democracy. Give the ball back to KD. The first 3 minutes of the meeting were over. The smell of the people. Rocket has also killed the racist concern. The details of the willow. I don't know if anyone has found out. KD after the goal. I'm going to take a look at the next thing. The position of my foot. I'm sorry about that. It could be KD. The past that I can't imagine for the rest of my life. The first time I saw a race that was so great, I was surprised. We also tried to talk later. KD has won the honors. The following is a list of the top 10. The average length is 25.9 points. 5.4 board. 4.7 people. 0.8 points covered. The first class hits. The number of people who are affected by this virus is 51.8%. 3 points of hit. The number of people who are affected by the virus is 41.4%. The data and efficiency. The best team in the world is the best team in the world. The competition was a few points too much. The number of people who have been locked down. There is a lot of pressure. The smell is so full. About the rise and fall of Brown. The last location. The problem is that the internet is not working. The court's decision to remove the claim was made by the court. There are no results yet. The number of people who have been killed is unknown. But for KD, the first is that he deserves a 2-seat position. His data. The battle of the bulge. The picture is good. The race is close. He also led the team in scoring. The story is about a young boy who is a teenager. The impact is quite good. Of course, this is not a problem. KD's voice is heard at this stage. The best lineup is not important. He has only one goal. This is the case with the Clinton administration. We certainly can't go overboard and say, KD's race car is able to run smoothly. But from now on, things are up and Lee Bose is back. Rocket wheels. The probability of selling fools. It's already quite large. The wheel. Their opponents. The newly created military free training facility will be. The group is fighting. The rocket is clearly a dog. But they didn't survive. The 5 largest rocket groups reached the summit. The 5 largest movements in the world. The total height of the translation by Rhett. It is also clear. The rocket may be. The first is to use the blue-collared paper to write articles on the attack. The other side. Amon as the top leader of the league. If he can limit the power of the power of the power of the power. Given the situation in Greece, at least 30% of rockets survive. So what do you think? How far can KD go with the rockets? I'm not sure. The change in perspective. We're going to play football.